If you think the odds are against you financially, come talk to us.
This is Brian Garcia, Executive Marketing Director with Global Financial Impact. I'm here with him. He's the foster care to millionaire. So this is what, I'm going to ask him some questions. So why GFI?
I mean, there's a booklet of reasons why GFI, but one of my personal ones is we call it the 5 Fs here, right? We're really, really big on culture and not just looking for people to come be sales agents in the sales space, right? We want to help people change their overall life.
Yeah.
So the 5 Fs are simple, right? Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And we
Okay.
believe the quality of life, if we can dial in those 5 things for an agent and help them grow in those 5 spaces, right? Because yes,
Yeah.
we can help a lot of families here and create a good income here, right? But also too, is your faith strong? Is your home front with your family strong, right? Are you taking care of your health, right? Because what's the whole point of getting wealthy if you're not healthy, right?
Yeah.
And then ultimately too, right? Have fun while you're here on planet Earth because our
Yeah.
time here is short, right?
Yep.
And so we want to make sure agents are having
Absolutely.
that good time, right? So
What about the opportunities that Global Financial Impact provides?
yeah, and just like I was provided with an opportunity, almost a decade ago to get into this industry, GFI is providing an opportunity for the average Joe, average Jane to come into a platform, right, and have an opportunity to build a business that's very scalable, right? No experience necessary at all, right?
Mhm.
All we're looking for is people that have good integrity, good ambition, and honestly, just looking for their shot in life, right?
Mhm.
So most Americans are living check to check, and they're barely getting by, and there's no long like foresight future to get ahead with their family. And that was me 9 years ago, right? As a former social worker. And like I said, took my chance, started part-time in this
Yep.
1099 position.
Yep.
It was kind of scary. Let's admit it, right? Going into a commission-based role. But I can tell you, once you get your license, you plug into a proven system with coaches and mentors, right? Like we hold your hand during every step of the way. Remember when you
Absolutely.
started, right? And
Yep.
and that's our whole focus is how to get someone that has no experience come into a system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just plug in and learn
Yeah.
and see your success, blossom from there. And then I'll
Yeah.
kind of, jump on that one more point is we got to work, right? We got to put in the intention, right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's not going to be given to us. It is an opportunity
Yeah.
that can change your life and your family's direction. But there's got to be some intention behind it as well.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely. You got to actually put in the work, just like anything.
Yeah.
You go to work for 9 to 5, they're not going to pay you if you're not working. They're going to
true.
fire you. So we don't fire anybody. You're 1099. You're your own business owner. We're going to show you how to build a business and allow you to be an owner of your own business.
Yes, sir.
But more importantly, have the autonomy and independence to grow your income with no limitations.
Yes, sir.
But what I always think of if as this as an opportunity because when you join something that's a fintech company, that's a startup, that's just killing it in the financial space, and it's scalable. We're going IPO. We got all these opportunities out there for people, and share a little bit of that with me because we've been on some meetings with some of the vice presidents, and we got guys coming from Merrill Lynch and all these other tech or these financial firms joining the upper echelon of GFI. But what do you take from that on the conversations we've had with these people?
Well, one opportunity. You keep on mentioning, and if we could just bold out on the screen somewhere, right? Like opportunity, because let's be real, most Americans we don't have the opportunity at any type of equity, right? We don't have the opportunity at changing our family tree, being able to make a high 6-figure income, a 7-figure income, right? And some agents even 8-figure income. Like we're talking like literally changing and shifting your family tree opportunity, right? That's how I seen it coming in, right? As former foster care, he did mention foster care to millionaire. That is like a hashtag I like to talk about. It's like a mantra that I live by. But coming from where we had no direction to now an opportunity where we're talking about, shifting family trees, helping agents do the same, right? Like, they call it the POP program here with GFI, right? The Partnership Ownership Program, that every agent's going to have an opportunity to achieve in the next 5 years or so, right? And so that's the game changer, right? Because there's a lot of companies out there and there's some amazing companies, but I would say none of them have the opportunity that we're presented with, right? And that's what's on the table today with GFI. And honestly, it's exciting, right? It's like you're working for something big and you see your family, you're like, man, one day this is going to pay off. Right, it's going to be all worth it, right? So that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah, and I spoke a little bit about that in a previous video when we talk about assets, because the number one asset, really building your wealth and really gaining where you separate yourself from everybody else is when you are a business owner and it's scalable, that you can sell that just like we can sell our book of business later on, and it's something that you built. So therefore you can give it to your family or you can sell it to somebody else. But those things don't happen very often unless you put in the work, unless you take a chance on yourself. And I think that's one of the things that people miss. Because one thing I worked in 9 to 5, I worked in finance for a lot of years, and I worked in government. I did all sorts of things. But there's nothing like taking a chance on yourself.
Yeah.
We do that in football. We do it in all these other things. You got to believe in yourself. And that's the one thing, when you say, hey, you know what? I don't care what's around me. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to take a shot. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to bet on myself.
Yeah.
And that's what this, to me, feels like. And it's like coaching again and playing football again. I mean, I'm betting on myself, on my own talents and my own skills.
I love it.
And why not?
Look, if you bet on yourself and you have a big enough why, right? So for example, like, I got my 2 daughters, my wife, right? My daughters are actually the beneficiaries to our business, right? And so as our business scales, and if something ever does happen to me and my wife, right, the business will continue to produce and it will continue to pay out to our daughters, which is very powerful. And that's a question you got to ask yourself. If something happened to you today, what is going to continue coming in for your family? Right. You should have life insurance, right? That's a side note, right? But, if you have any assets and things like that, but your career stops right there, right? That $80,000, $60,000, $100,000 income that you were making for your family is now off the table forever, right? And so GFI does open up that pathway for, hey, if you build this, you become a broker, you do now get, one of the levels of ownership, and that business will continue to pay your family as long as it's continuing to produce. Yeah,
longer.
so
I mean, they really,
that's powerful. Like that's opportunity.
That was
right
the
there.
opportunity that I really saw that I wanted to take advantage of. So to me, I think GFI obviously provides so many opportunities that you don't get working for somebody.
Yeah.
You did, and I have a license in real estate, but I'm self-employed on that side of it. But I don't own the brokerage.
No.
So this is I'm going to own my own brokerage. That's the plan.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
anyway, take a look, give us a call, set up an appointment. We'll walk you through the details, and open arms, ready to, if you want a chance and bet on yourself, join GFI.